for today's video, I know I do a lot of Ouija talks. I'm hoping this month, I'm definitely going to try to do other things that are not just Ouija talks. So if you have video suggestions, please comment them down below. I would appreciate it. But yeah, I'm going to try to do other things that are along the lines of Halloween. But not just Ouija talks, but you know, Ouija talks are like my thing. So we're going to start the month off right with the Ouija talk. And today's Ouija talk is knowing when to leave a Ouija board session. I know I do like so many of these. I always have to, when I get an idea, I'm like, I gotta go back and check, have I done this before? I know I've done a video on signs the board went wrong, but this is a little bit different than that. So this, you will still be getting new information. This is more along the lines of, you know, when you're in the middle of a session, things you need to be looking out for to be oh, this is not going right. I need to leave before something actually really catastrophic or bad happens. So without further ado, because we know I'm notorious for having super quick intros that get right into the video. Not really. If this is your first time, my intros are always super long because I don't know how to stop talking. I'm gonna shut up now and we're gonna get into this video. All right. So, how to know when your session is going wrong and you need to GTFO, and you guys should hopefully know what that means. If you don't, look it up. First, if you ask the board, are you a good spirit? Are you a bad spirit? And somehow the answer is that they say, yes, they're a bad spirit, you should leave. I know some people might be really? I should? What if they're just messing with me? Yeah, if a spirit says they're bad, I know some people get on the adventurous side where they're ooh, this should be interesting. No, just leave. If a spirit says they're bad, they're definitely bad. So you should go, because that can go downhill from there. Again, usually with the Ouija board, majority of the spirits you talk to, I'm not saying they're all bad, but you get a good amount that usually are bad. So yeah, if they say they're bad, just go. Save yourself the headache. Save yourself possibly releasing it. But yeah, next. The spirit says it has no age. What I mean by that is if you ask a spirit how old it is and it goes from 0 to 1 or just stays on 0, that means usually it doesn't have an age. So that's kind of terrifying when you really think about it, because that means it was never once a person. It's not a spirit. It's a different kind of entity. It could be a demon. Depending on what your religious beliefs are, I don't know, it could be something else, but it's definitely not something good, and you should be more afraid if it doesn't have an age, because again, that it's something that was not once human, so it's potentially more powerful and could do a lot more harm than a normal spirit. So if it has no age, again, 0 to 1, if it goes from 0 to 1 backwards, or just stays on 0, goodbye. Next, if it goes to the corners of the board or tries to get off the board, if the planchette's going this around the board, or it's just trying to get off the board, you should go. For those of you who don't know, if the planchette gets off the board completely, a spirit could potentially escape. Kind of like when you put your fingers on the planchette, if you remove your fingers, that is another way a spirit can potentially get out. So if you see a spirit going to the corners of the board or just trying to get off the board, end the session there, because they are trying to escape, and that is not a good thing. Next, and again, also I want to say some of these might be from other videos you've seen of mine that I've said before, but I'm also trying to give you guys, every time I do a video, I try to give you guys new information, so it's not me just repeating the same thing over and over again. But next point, if the spirit's going backwards through the numbers, the alphabet, or if they're saying Zozo Mama. I have done a video on Zozo Mama. I'll make sure to link the playlist for all my other Ouija talks below, because it's somewhere in there. But, because I've done a video dedicated to that and how I really don't think it's actually a demon like people claim. But anyways, so if it's going backwards through the numbers or the letters, that is a way for it to try to escape. So kind of like how I said with the no age thing, that could also, I would assume it's a different entity and it's not a spirit or once human. But it could just be trying to escape. Or if it's going backwards through the letters, that's another way it tries to escape. So if you see it doing any of those things, or if it's spelling out Zozo and then Mama, that's a way for it to go backwards. So I would leave. Would not want to risk it trying to escape. Next, if the board starts swearing at you, or talking about the devil, or saying they're a demon, or saying they're Satan, or again, if they're swearing at you, and I think we all know what swearing is, leave, because that is a bad sign. Like, if the board gets aggressive in any way, and this was my next point, but I'll throw it in here, like, if they're threatening you, like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna take over you, or any threats, anything violent in that nature, or anything negative like that, you need to leave, because it just proves it is an aggressive spirit, and it obviously wants something out of you, or it has something against you, or it's after you in some way. So if it's doing anything threatening, anything negative, like I said, swearing, talking about the devil, or like saying they're a demon, like, just go. That is not a good sign. If a spirit ever gets aggressive in any way or starts to act violent, you need to leave. Do not spend the time sitting there and like hoping for the best. Just go. All right, next. If you, this one's gonna sound contradictory. If you tell a spirit goodbye, and it's like, no, because spirits will do that. You might, because, you know, how you end a session is you say goodbye, and the spirit's supposed to move it to the, like, the goodbye, move the planchette to goodbye. If it doesn't do that, and instead is like, well, screw you, I'm gonna, like, not say goodbye, and I'm gonna go and say no, or they just don't go to goodbye, you need to end that session. Like I said, I think I've said it in my rules of the Ouija board, or tips. It's like taking candy. It's like taking candy from a baby. Like, if you tell your kid, like, if your kid's like, Mom, I want this piece of candy, and you say no, and they're like still holding, like, no, I'm having it. You just snatch it and tell them no. That's what you have to do with the Ouija board. So if you're telling if you tell a spirit goodbye and they say no, that's a bad sign. Like, oh, they don't want to leave. Like, I mean, some spirits get lonely, but usually that's like, they're not trying to leave in that way. They're trying to leave by, like, getting out of the board. Just force the planchette to goodbye. Say goodbye, force it to goodbye, and then done. Because the living always has more power over the dead. Next. This one's going to sound a little weird. Because this isn't, like, something like a spirit's going to show you. But if you've been playing the board for a little too long, it is time to leave. I would say a session should range from like 20 to 30 minutes if you can get it to go that long. Anything longer, I would suggest leaving, because the longer you play the board, the more power you are giving a spirit, which is not a good thing. Because again, like, spirits, the way the board works is spirits thrive off of your energy. So, or like all the players' energy. So if you keep playing, the longer you're playing, the more, like, they're thriving off of your energy, and the more powerful, the stronger they can get, and that could potentially cause them to escape the board. So you definitely don't want to play for super long. And also, another thing, there have been stories where people will play the board for like a few hours, and like literally they'll somehow lose concept of time, where, like, let's just say, like, hypothetically they were playing at midnight and they think they've only been playing 20 minutes, and then they look and it's like 3 o'clock. Like, you can lose your concept of time, which can disorient you and which weakens you and makes the spirit kind of take power over you. So you definitely don't want to play it super long. It's always, tip for this, it's always good to have like a clock somewhere where you can see it, where you don't have to take your hand off the planchette to look at it. So I would get like a digital clock or just something, so you can always see the time to be like, how long have I been playing? But yeah. Next, spirit claims to not be a spirit. Leave. Don't risk it. I can assure you it is not an angel. If they're like, I'm not a spirit, it is definitely not an angel. It's not something good. Probably something bad. Like, it is something bad, or they're really trying to scare you. So if a spirit's ever like, I'm not a spirit, like I said, I'm another entity. Because a spirit is something that was once human, once living. Any other entities are things that have never been living, which is really creepy when you think about it. So if they ever like, I'm not a spirit, and I know I kind of said this earlier, leave. Don't risk it. Don't find out. Don't see how powerful it is. You don't need that in your life. Next, if weird things start to happen around you, like if you have a candle and it happens to blow out, or a lamp falls, or a lamp turns on, or a light turns off, or like the door swings open, leave. Like, just leave. Ew. Why would you want to risk that? Yeah, so if that happens, I would definitely say goodbye immediately. But yeah, if you start seeing weird things happening around you, like, just leave. The spirit's probably trying to get out if it hasn't already gotten out by that point. That might be a point of no return. But I would still say goodbye, end the session, and like say a prayer that like it didn't get out and like your mind's just messing with you. But yeah. And my last thing, which is actually really important, it might sound weird, but it is super important. if you in any way feel uneasy or you feel anxious, and I know like when you play the Ouija board, especially like the first time, you're gonna feel nervous before playing it. That's like totally normal, totally fine. You don't want to show that fear or like being nervous or anxious to a spirit, because they thrive off of negative energy, and that's how they take over you. Not like possessing, but like more like attachment or trying to escape the board. But if you, as you're playing, if you just feel really uneasy, really anxious, or you feel like something come over you, like a really like unsettling feeling, that is your hint, big clue to leave the session. Because like I said, spirits thrive off of negative energy. So if you have any form of negative energy, you need to leave. It is better to be safe than to be sorry. Like, always trust your gut instinct. So again, if you feel something is wrong, go, end it. Because again, a spirit will thrive off of that negative energy, and that, again, it makes it more likely to escape or like attach itself to you. So yeah, I would leave if you feel unsettled. But those are my little knowing when to leave the Ouija board session. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. So if you have, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you like Ouija talks, because if you do, I can always make more. If you don't, just give me other video suggestions. We don't need to dislike this video. Comment down below other video suggestions for October, because I probably cannot physically make 31 Ouija talks in 31 days. And 2, I'm sure you guys would like to see me do other things. So comment your ideas down below, and if I really like your idea, I will shout you out in a video. Check out my Instagram at HorrorLover13. Right now, I should be doing 31 special effects looks, so like a look every day for October. So go check me out there. You also want to check out my website, queenofhorror.com, where I post everything horror, in case you're not getting enough horror on this channel. And I have an Etsy shop at Sydney Sewing Studio. I currently have Halloween items up there right now, like some Nightmare Before Christmas pillows. Well, by the time this video goes up, they might be sold out, but they might still be there. But I got like different Halloween items, like Halloween scrunchies, like other cool stuff. So go check that out. And if you do buy something on my Etsy, let me know in a message and I'll write you a little note or something. But yeah, that is it for today's video. So till next time, bye guys! And just remember, always say goodbye.